preseason results don't matter, right? No, they don't matter at all. On today's show, we're going to give you the 4 winners and the 4 losers from the Buffalo Bills' 38-0 loss to the Chicago Bears in Week 2 of the NFL preseason. You're watching the Bills Breakdown by Chat Sports. I am your host, Tyler Smith. And I just want to preface with, let's be serious for a second. These results don't actually matter. The Bears beat the Bills 33-6 last preseason, and we know how both of those regular seasons went for each of those 2 clubs. So on today's show, we're going to focus on what needs to be focused on during the preseason, and that's individual performances. Whose stock is up and whose stock is down. I want to start on a good note because there weren't a lot of good notes really from this game whatsoever, and that's why we're going to start at the special teams group. Brad Robbins is our preseason winner number 1, the punter. Yes, at one point he was averaging 50.5 yards per punt for his first 10 through the preseason for Buffalo here. I don't know if the 10 punts is exactly a good thing, but Brad Robbins is absolutely using that leg, and he's making a really strong push right now to make the 53-man roster. A lot of good special teams work from Brad Robbins here, and it looks like he's going to be a member of this Bills special teams group for the 2025 season. So keep swinging that leg, Brad. You're doing a good job. I don't want to see you too much in the regular season, though. Let's move on to preseason loser number 1, and that is going to be Mike White. There was a quarterback competition going on in the Buffalo Bills. And no, it did not involve Josh Allen. No, this is for the backup quarterback spot between Mitch Trubisky and Mike White. Mitch Trubisky started the Week 1 matchup in the preseason against the Giants, and then Mike White came in to give him rest after. This week, the Bills decided to go with Mike White against the Chicago Bears 1s and 2s, and Mike White did not do all that much to make a case to be QB2 behind Josh Allen. He was 4 for 11 for 54 yards, and they really didn't pick up any first downs. He took a couple of sacks, couple of just really inaccurate footballs, man. And I'm not so sure that Mike White is going to be a member of this roster heading into this season, and he'll be probably lucky to get on a practice squad around the league somewhere. It was not a great showing for Mike White in a game where he really, really, really needed to show out in order to be this Bills QB2. Let's move on to preseason winner number 2, though, and that's a name that continues to shine throughout the training camp and preseason process, and that is wide receiver Tyrell Shavers. He continues to make elite moves on DB. See this nice double move that Mike White ended up overthrowing down the right sideline again in this Bears game. He had a nice adjustment on the football there when it was on a little bit of an underthrown back shoulder ball on the opposite right sideline when they were going the other way in that first half. And Shavers just continues to be a standout player in a couple of games for Buffalo that really haven't had a lot of standout guys. Plus, Tyrell Shavers also continues to provide really great special teams versatility as a gunner. So he looks like he's going to make this roster for more reasons than one. He's really looking like an elite vertical threat here for the Bills in the preseason. I want to see if he can get any real snap counts and real opportunity there in the regular season, because who knows? He could end up being the Bills' top vertical threat. Let's move on to preseason loser number 2, though, and that is Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore, let's stick in the wide receiver room for now, because this is probably the most contentious room when it comes to who's on the roster bubble and who's going to make the 53. Tyrell Shavers has enough special teams versatility that's going to warrant him a roster spot for your Buffalo Bills. Elijah Moore, I don't know if I could say the same things about. He had 2 crucial drops on the same drive in this ball game, and he is yet to really impress and make a name for himself and jump off of the page throughout the training camp process. And for a guy who maybe I thought was going to be this team's easily wide receiver 4, could even maybe end up being the wide receiver 3 at some point, there's real question marks on whether or not he's going to make this roster at this point. Is Curtis Samuel going to be on the team over him? Is KJ Hamler going to be on the team over him? I could argue that KJ Hamler does the Elijah Moore thing better than Elijah Moore. So it's yet to be seen whether or not Moore will make the lineup, but man, this preseason finale against the Bucs next Saturday, it's kind of make or break for Elijah Moore, in my opinion. With that being said, what say you? Let me know down in the comment section who was a winner, and there were not many in this Bills preseason game. They lost 38-0. They didn't get any points up on the board. They barely got any first downs, but name a winner for me down in the comment section. Who stood out to you? Whose stock is up after preseason week 2 against the Chicago Bears? Let's move into preseason winner number 3, and that is Jordan Hancock. Man, led the team in tackles with 8, led the team in solo tackles with 5, had a TFL, looks really, really good against the run Is a really raw prospect, though, in the pass game. Still takes a couple of rough angles from time to time. But you can see that this guy is just a football player, man. He has a nose for the ball. He wants to be out there. He's playing a million miles an hour. Now, he did end up suffering a shoulder injury that took him out of the ball game. He opened the second half playing nickel cornerback after only playing safety in the first half hour. But he went down. He went for a head-first tackle and ended up injuring his shoulder a little bit. Was able to walk off under his own power. He should be all right, but we'll keep you guys updated as that injury news develops a little bit. Jordan Hancock, though, has a nose for the football, plays the run really well. And I know you don't want your safeties to be your primary run defenders, but he does that job really, really well. And I'm excited to see his development. I think he could be this team's true third safety here because if we're sticking in this room, preseason loser number 3, that's Damar Hamlin, man. He was not good as both a tackler and as a coverage, man. That first series by the Chicago Bears. Look, the Bills did not play a lot of their ones, really all of their ones in this game. But, I mean, Chicago just sliced and diced through that Bills second and third level on that first drive. And on the touchdown specifically, there was a 36-yard catch and run by Olamide Zaccheaus. Well, Cole Bishop, yeah, he was the man that was manned up on Zaccheaus on that play. But Damar Hamlin did nothing to help him as far as inside leverage goes. He was the middle-high safety there, and he took a terrible angle trying to tackle Zaccheaus on that play. So just as much as Cole Bishop had a rough day, and by the way, he's been injured for a large portion of this training camp. This is the first we've seen him this preseason. Damar Hamlin was equally, if not worse, as he got to play a little bit more than Bishop did and really didn't do much to help himself on this Bills safety depth chart. The Bills safety room as a whole has a lot of question marks, and a lot of those guys' stocks are down, including Bishop. But Damar Hamlin, if I had to give out a loser in the safety group, would be the name that I select. Preseason winner number 4 from the Chicago Bears game in Week 2, Michael Hoecht, the free agent pickup, for a couple of reasons here. As far as his performance on the field went, he had a sack. He had a nice screen pass defense that affected it and made it incomplete, all that good stuff. Hoecht looks like he's going to be a real relied upon defensive end on this roster with the way that, some of their guys that they drafted don't really look all the way ready at this point, and then some of their young depth guys that they've drafted over the past couple of years don't look all the way ready. Michael Hoecht is going to be called upon to play a massive, massive role on the Bills' defensive line. It's so unfortunate that he's facing that 6-game suspension because this team and defense absolutely needs him. And I think that with the way that the rest of the defensive line looked tonight, I think the Bills understand that Michael Hoecht is going to be a much-needed commodity for them once Week 7 rolls around. Finally, let's go to preseason loser number 4. And this really, really hurts me to do because Joe Andreessen, he's an awesome guy. It's Buffalo Joe we're talking about here. He's a great guy, but he's a loser on today's game because he has been such a good story since rookie minicamp when he was invited over a year ago. And he has really had nothing but positive press, positive stories, positive performances. This is really the first bad game that we've seen from Buffalo Joe, and one of his bigger opportunities playing against the Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears first-team offense. He was picked apart, man. He just didn't look like he was all the way ready as a pass defender. And look, he's going to be a part of this Bills defensive rotation. He's going to be the second Mike linebacker backing up Matt Milano. But he's got some work to do, and that's okay. As a second-year UDFA player, there's going to be some holes in his game to this point, and he recognizes that as well. This is a player who's going to take this performance and make him better. So I don't have a lot of worries about Joe Andreessen. He's done nothing to this point to suggest that he's not going to rebound from this type of performance. It was just a rough go of it in the pass coverage department against these Bears 1s and 2s. Hopefully he can rectify this in Week 3 of the preseason against a much more high-octane offense in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll see how many guys that they end up trotting out in that game. But Buffalo Joe was not his best performance in this Week 2 matchup. Be honest for me. You can probably name another preseason Week 2 loser on this list. Get creative for me. Be honest down in the comment section. Who was a loser from this edition of Bills preseason football? Let me know down in the comment section. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel because my name is Tyler Smith, and I will be bringing you guys Buffalo Bills coverage from here on out. I am your host of the Bills Breakdown by Chat Sports, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Give me a follow over on Twitter at Tyler J. Smith, 2 H's at the bottom. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bills coverage coming all season long, and a watch party for preseason Week 3 as well against the Bucs. We'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, let's go, Buffalo.